Yes. So good morning, students. So yesterday, till we have read about the beggar who was calling himself at one time a school teacher. He was telling to Sergi that he was a school teacher who has been expelled because of the intriguing plans. And at another time, then when Sergi told, no, I have seen you before somewhere. So what he told that yes, he was actually a student who was expelled from college. So it means that these are the two lies, okay, that he was telling to Sergi. These were the two lies that he was telling to Sergi. But what was the reality? Finally, he told that once he was a part of the Russian choir, but he was expelled from the choir because of being drunkard. Okay, so we have also read, sorry, that Sergi, he has taken him to his house, and what job he was given to chop the wood there. So we have in page number the 64 in the first paragraph, what we have read that Olga has told her, Olga was instructing him to chop the wood. He very weakly, in a timid manner, in a weak manner, he has put the billet of wood means log of wood in between his feet, and he was just, you can say, weakly hitting it with an axe, and that doesn't cause the wood to be cut. Okay, so it means that he was least bothered about chopping the wood, and he was not at all interested in chopping the wood. Okay, so next, page number 64, second paragraph. Sergi's anger had vanished, and he now began to feel a little sorry and ashamed of himself for having set a spoiled, drunken, perhaps sick man to work at menial labor in the cold. Menial means job of lower order. Okay, so Sergi was looking through the window at all this, what is going on in the shed. Okay, he has looked that Sergi was not ready to do the work, and he was also feeling sorry why he has employed this man, okay, who is so weak, who is a drunkard, and his, you can say, body strength is declined because of being drunk, and above all, he has employed him at such a menial job, which he thought that it is not up to his level. And moreover, what is there? What kind of weather? It is intense cold. Weather in this cold weather, Sergi was thinking, was I right to employ this man in chopping wood? Will he be able to chop wood? No, he thought. He thought that I have done a wrong thing here. No. An hour later, Olga came in and announced that the wood had all been chopped. But after an hour, what happened? Olga came and she told Sergi that all the wood has been chopped. Good. Give him half a ruble, said Sergi. If he wants to, he can come and cut wood on the first day of each month. We can always find work for him. Sergi was happy that finally he was able to chop the wood. He said, okay, fine. Give him half a ruble, very small amount. Half a ruble, see. Okay, not complete ruble, half a ruble, okay? Half of a ruble. Okay, so Russian currency. So he said, give him half a ruble, and if he will be ready, he can come at the start of every month and we can pay him every month. We can do it for him. On the first of the month, and on the first of the month, the waif made his appearance, this beggar. Okay, the waif means the beggar. He made his appearance and again earned half a ruble, although he could barely stand on his legs. From that day on, he often appeared in the yard, and every time work was found for him. Yes. So on the first of every month, this beggar was coming to their house, to Sergi's house, and when he is coming, he was chopping wood for them. So in this manner, he is coming, and from that day, every start of the every month, he is coming, and in the yard, he was chopping wood for them, and every time work was found for him. It was never that he has come and work was not given to him, because Sergi was concerned that he should get work and he should earn money. This is the reason. Now he would shoved snow. Shoved means pushed. Okay, he would shove snow. Now put the woodshed in order. Now heat the dust off of the rugs and mattresses. These are the other things that he was doing. Okay, uh, dusting the mattresses, okay, shoving the snow, pushing the snow from the passages, clearing the passage of snow, and putting all the log of woods in proper order in the shed so that it should look or a little bit organized. Okay, so these are the other things that he was doing apart from chopping the wood. Next, every time he received from 20 to 40 kopecks, and once even a pair of old trousers were sent out to him. So every time he is coming, he is getting some kopecks. Kopecks means Russian coins. Okay, very small amount he is getting. And at one time when he has come, he was also given an old pair of trousers of Sergei. So in this manner, Sergei was trying to help him out. When Sergei moved into another house, he hired him to help in the packing and hauling. Hauling means transporting of the furniture. This time, the wife was sober, gloomy, and silent. So at one time, what happened? That Sergei, he was transporting the furniture to a new house, and he hired this beggar, okay, in hauling and transporting the furniture. Okay, but this time there was a change in his attitude. He was sober, silent, gloomy, means he was in a sad mood. He was not pretending anything. He was not showing any kind of, you can say, behavior. This time, the waif was sober, gloomy, and silent. He hardly touched the furniture and walked behind the wagons, hanging his head, not even making a pretense of appearing busy. Pretense means to show. Okay. So this time he was just moving with his hands hanging at the back, just moving behind the wagons. Which wagons? Those wagons in which the furniture was piled up and it was being transported. Okay, he was just putting his hands down and with his shoulders also down, head down, and he was just moving behind the wagons and not speaking even a word. Not even he was showing, not he was making this appearance that he should pretend that he is busy in his work. What happened to him? He only shivered in the cold and became embarrassed when the carters jeered at him. Jeered at him means making fun of him by passing remarks. They jeered at him for his idleness, his feebleness, feebleness means his weakness, and his tattered fancy overcoat. After the moving was over, Sergei sent for him. But he was just shivering in cold because of intense cold weather. And moreover, the other carters who were transporting the furniture, they were making fun of him. Why? They were making fun of his tattered clothes. And over those tattered clothes, the fancy overcoat he was wearing. They were just making fun of him, passing remarks. Because of his idleness that he was not willing to do any kind of work. Now, Sergei sent for him when the work was over. Sergei, he noticed that there is a change in his attitude. So he sent for him. He called him. Well, I am happy that my words have taken effect. He handed him over a ruble. Here's for your pains. I see you are sober and have no objection to work. What is your name? So this is the first time Sergei has asked this beggar his name. See, he said, this is the 1 ruble. But now by this time, I have noticed that you are quite willing to do the work. You are not, you can say, reluctant to do the work. This is your 1 ruble because you have done your work very well. And tell me, what is your name? So what he said Lashkov. So what is the name of the beggar? This beggar's name is Lashkov. Okay, so this is the first time Sergei has asked his name. He said, my name is Lashkov. Well, Lashkov, I can now offer you some other cleaner employment. Can you write? So he asked Sergei out of concern. He said, I have some other work for you, much cleaner one. What do you think? Will you be able to write? Naturally, the person would firstly ask, will you be able to read and write? He said, yes, I can. Then take the letter to a friend of mine tomorrow and you will be given some copying to do. Work hard, don't drink, and remember what I have said to you. Goodbye. So he said, okay, he has written a letter. He handed it over to Lashkov. He said, take this letter and take it to my friend. Okay, he will give you some copying work there. If you will do better, you will continue there. But remember, do your work honestly without drinking And from my side, goodbye. It means that he was involved or he has indulged himself in some other work. And who has helped me to get that work? Sergi. How? Because he has given a letter of recommendation. Maybe in the letter he has written that I'm sending a person to you, employing him to a copying work so that he can improve his life. Right? So, pleased at having put a man on the right path, Sergey tapped Lushkov kindly on the shoulder and even gave him his hand at parting. Lushkov took the letter, and from that day forth came no more to the yard for work. So, Sergey, when you do something good for others, deep inside your heart, you have a feeling of satisfaction. This kind of satisfaction he was also having. Okay, that he has set a person on the right path. He also thought that I have set a person on the right path. I have done a great job. Okay, somewhere little bit proud. Okay, and more satisfaction he was feeling in his heart. Now he tapped Lushkov back. Okay, now you can do better. And ultimately at the end, he shook his hand with him also. And finally, from that day onwards, he has never seen Lushkov, means the beggar, again in the yard. Okay. Now, 2 years went by. 2 years' time has passed out. Now, then one evening, as Sergey was standing at the ticket window of a theater paying for his seat, he noticed a little man beside him with a coat collar of curly fur and worn sealskin cap. This little individual timidly, means weakly, in a low voice, he asked the ticket seller for a seat in the gallery and paid for it in copper coins. So 2 years has been passed. Sergey has never seen this beggar, this man Lushkov. And one evening, what happened? While Sergey was purchasing a ticket for a show in the theater, he has seen a small man of middle height, okay, small height. He was wearing a sealskin cap, special type of cap, and his neck was adorned with the curly fur of a coat. And he looked that the man was speaking weakly to the ticket seller. He was asking for a ticket in the gallery. He cut the ticket, and ultimately the man was paying in copper coins. Now, because of the sealskin cap and the curly fur coats that he was wearing, Sergey's attention was diverted towards that man. Who's that man? Now, Lushkov, is that you? Sergey was surprised to see. He said, Lushkov, it's you who was once in tattered clothes, and he has come to me for chopping the wood in my yard, and today he is paying in copper coins. It means that a complete transformation has taken place. This Lushkov, who was once a beggar, now he is a reputed man, civilized man, who is paying for a ticket. How is this possible? And recognizing in the little man his former wood chopper. Former means earlier who was a wood chopper. How are you? What are you doing? How is everything with you? He was so, you can say, involved with this change in appearance that he immediately shoot him with different kind of questions. Like, we are so elated to see anybody. How are you? What are you doing these days? Is everything fine? Everything is going on fine. So in this manner, he has asked him so many questions. All right, he said, I'm a notary now and I'm paid 35 rubles a month. He said, yes, I'm fine. Nowadays, I'm doing a job of a notary to copying down the work. It means that he was working at the same place. Okay. And he said, and I'm earning 35 rubles a month. At that time, he was just earning half a ruble when he was chopping the wood. See the transformation, 35 rubles, a good amount he was earning. Next page, please. Thank heaven. Sergey looked at the heaven. Said, thank heaven, thank God. That's fine. I'm delighted for your sake. I'm very, very glad, Lushkov. You see, you are my godson, in a sense. I gave you a push along the right path, you know. Now, Sergey thanking the God. Oh, thank God. Thank God. I'm too happy for you that you are doing so very well. I gave you a push. It means Sergey was thinking that it is just me who has provided him the right opportunity. And this is the reason why he is able to earn 35 rupees a month today. He said, I gave you a push. Do you remember what a roasting? Roasting means scolding. Okay, what a roasting I gave you. I nearly had you sinking into the ground at my feet that day. Thank you, old man, for not forgetting my words. He said, you remember how much I scolded you on that day when you were in the street begging for alms? You were telling the lie that you were a school teacher. You were telling a lie that you were a college student expelled from the college. But you remember my words. I scolded you on that day and you were sinking to my feet for not calling the police. But you remembered my words. Even I'm thankful to you. Thank you too, Lashkov said. Thank you too. If I hadn't come to you, then I might still have been calling myself a teacher or a student to this day. Yes, by flying to your protection means by coming into your protection, I dragged myself out of a pit. Lashkov said, even I am thankful to you. Dear sir, it is just because of you that you came into my life. You provided me a chance to come out of that dark pit, okay, of beggary. If you had not been helped me out, I might have been still calling me a school teacher or a college student expelled from the college. But what actually it is, I'm very glad indeed. Even Saji said, even I'm so happy for you. I can't have words to express my thankfulness. Thank you for your kind words and deeds. I'm very grateful to you and to your cook. See here what he said, and to your cook Olga. Olga was scolding him that how she has done good to him. God bless that good and noble woman. You spoke finally then, and I shall be indebted, means thankful to you to my dying day. But strictly speaking, it was your cook Olga who saved me. So this is unfolding the truth. He's unfolding the truth. He said, thank you, sir. I'm really very thankful for your kind deeds. For your kind deeds you have shown me. You have given me a letter of recommendation which I have taken to your friend, and he has given me a job of a notary. It's very well, it's fine. And I'm really thankful for the kind heart have have for me. You have taken me from the street, employed me in chopping the wood, and finally now I'm earning 35 rubles. But actually, sir, I'm also thankful to your cook, Olga. Olga, actually, she's such a noble lady. She is actually responsible for bringing a change, for bringing a transformation in me. Sergi was surprised. Olga, how's that? How's that possible? He said, how is that? Means he's surprised. How Olga has brought a transformation in you? Now he explained, when I used to come to your house to chop wood, she used to begin, oh, you sort means drunkard, habitual drunkard. Oh, you sort, oh, you miserable creature, there's nothing for you but ruin. And then she would sit down opposite me and grew sad and look into my face and weep. Oh, you unlucky man, there is no pleasure for you in this world, and there will be none in the worlds to come. You drunkard, you will burn in hell. Oh, you unhappy one. And so she would carry on, you know, in that strain. So he said, you remember when I came to your house? She is the one who wept for me, who shed her tears for me. When I was not doing any work, she would speak such kind of insulting words to me. She was scolding me that really pinched me. She was always telling me that my life is completely a ruin. I will not get any kind of good opportunities or good days, neither at present nor in my future, because I'm a drunkard. There is nothing good going to happen to me. She has shown me the exact picture. She has shown me the mirror image of my days to come. She was telling me that I will burn in hell, and my days in future would be more, you can say, painful than they are. And in this manner, she has shown complete strength. She was worrying for me. She was worried for me too. And I can't tell you how much misery she suffered, how many tears she shed for my sake, and what kind, speaking these kind of words, she has shed lot of tears for me, who is completely alien to me, to her. I didn't know her at all. Still, she was concerned for me. Okay, this really hit me. But the chief thing was She used to chop wood for me, and moreover, when I was not chopping wood, she was chopping wood for me, and for that chopping of wood, I am getting half a ruble from you. Do you know, sir, that I did not chop even single stick of wood for you? He said, sir, you know? You don't even know this, that I haven't chopped even a single wood for you. It was Olga who was doing the work, and in return, I was getting that half ruble. So these are the good deeds shown by Olga. She did it all. And who was doing that chopping? Olga. So why this saved me? Why I changed? Why I stopped drinking at the sight of her? I cannot explain. He said, why these things changed me? When I remember Olga, when at the sight of Olga, why I stopped drinking? I can't help me out. And I can't explain it out why this happened to me. But the reality is that lady Olga has changed me entirely. From a beggar to a man earning 35 rubles a month. I only know that, owing to her words and noble deeds, a change took place in my heart, and she set me right, and I shall never forget it. He said it was just because of that girl, a change took place in my heart. I changed completely. I'm changed totally, and for what she has done for me, I would never forget. She's a great lady, and it's just because of her only that a transformation has taken place in my personality. Now, however, it is time to go now. There goes the bell. So Lashkov bowed and departed to the galleries. Then the bell rings. So Lashkov said, sir, it's time to go to the theater. He bowed in front of Sergi, and they both departed. So the great shock that Sergi received was that he was thinking that he was responsible for bringing a change in that beggar. But actually, who was that responsible? It was Olga. Yes, it was Olga who was responsible for bringing a change in his life. So it means that it is not only the good deeds that we are showing to others. Sometimes the insults or the remarks, the painful remarks that we are giving to others, sometimes they also act as showing the exact picture of life. And this happened with Lashkov. Olga has shown the real picture of life, what is going to happen to him. And this resulted in bringing a change. And that was also a big shock for Serge, right? So any problem, students? It's fine. Now let us start discussing the question answers. Okay, coming to the question answers. First of all, the textual questions. First question is, has Lashkov become a beggar? Yes, this is always a great point here. Has Lashkov become a beggar by circumstance or by chance? How he has turned out to be a beggar? It was his choice or circumstances has made him? Yes, Diksha. Diksha is going to tell. 1 minute, please. So, Lashkov, of course, he has turned out to be a beggar by choice, not by circumstance, because he was very well employed in a Russian choir. He was earning handsome amount of money there, but because of being a drunkard, he was swept away from the Russian choir. Okay, and that's why because he lacked the readiness to do any kind of work. He was least bothered to do any kind of work. He was begging in the streets, asking for petty alms, and making different kind of excuses. At one time, he was calling himself a school teacher who has fallen a prey to the intriguing plans of his fellow mates. And at the other time, he was making excuse that he was a college student expelled from the college. And this also is shown that he has turned out to be a beggar by choice, because when he was employed by Sergi to chop wood, he was not at all ready to chop wood, not even a single billet of wood. Okay, and he was thinking it as a menial job too. So it means that when he was given a chance, okay, he was not ready to do the work. It means that he was a beggar by choice, and later on, only the words of Olga brought a transformation in him. Right? So there is no doubt that he was a beggar by choice, not by circumstance, because circumstances has also given him an opportunity to improve himself, okay, to earn money, okay, but it was he only who was not ready to earn any money, okay. So the second question, what reasons does he give to Sergi for his telling lies? Yes, what reason does he give? Yes, what reasons does he tell? Yes. So what reason does he give to Sergi for his telling lies? He has finally, when he was caught red-handed, or when he was trapped in his own words, because he was telling lies to Sergi, at one time calling him a school teacher. But when Sergi remembered that I have seen this man, that he has seen this man somewhere else. Okay. So at that time, and then he made another excuse that he was a school, that he was a student who was expelled from the college. And when he threatened him for calling the police, at that moment he told him that he was a, that actually he was a member of, or he was a part of the Russian choir. But he, because of being drunkard, he was swept away, he was expelled from the choir also. And if he would tell this reality to people, people would not give him money. So this is the reason why he was begging in the streets and making different kind of excuses and different kind of lies to different people, right? Next question, is Lashkov a willing worker? Why then does he agree to chop wood for Sergi? First of all, the question is, was he a willing worker? No, not at all. He was not at all a willing worker. He was not ready to work, ready to do any kind of work. When Sergi has employed him to chop wood for him in the shed, he was just sitting by putting his cheeks inside his fist, or resting his cheeks on his in his fist. Moreover, he timidly put the billet of wood between his feet, and with weak, you can say, effort, he was hitting the log of wood, and log of wood finally has fallen to the ground. This shows that he was least bothered and he was not even ready to do any kind of work. But what is the reason why he agreed to chop wood for him? Because he was trapped by his own words. Okay, because Sergi has found him that he was telling the lies. He was not even a school teacher, not even a school teacher, nor he was a student expelled from the college. He was actually making different kind of lies because he was expelled from the Russian choir. And if he would tell these things to people, people would not give him any money or any coins. So he was trapped by his own words, and in order to dodge the police, he was making these kind of lies. Okay. Next question. Sergi says, I'm happy that my words have taken effect. Why does he say so? Is he right in saying this? Yes. Yes. So Sergi said, I'm happy that my words have taken effect. Why? He said so. He said so because he thought that it was only his words that he advised him. Okay, that had made an effect, that has brought a transformation in his behavior from a beggar to a civilized man who is earning 35 rupees a month. And he thought that it was only the letter of recommendation that he has provided him that earned him a reputed job. Okay, that this is the reason why he was thinking. And he was thinking that he was really responsible for bringing about this transformation. But was he right in saying so? No, he was not right in saying so. Because according to Lashkov, it was not Sergi who has brought this transformation, but it was his cook Olga who shed her tears for him, who has shown such a strain for him, and actually these were the insulting remarks and the scolding given by Olga to him, who has shown him the exact picture of his future, who thought that his life would completely be a ruin in future. And ultimately, it was not Sergi who is responsible for bringing this transformation, but it was Olga. So Sergi was not at all right in saying so, according to Lashkov. Okay. Next question. Lashkov is earning 35 rubles a month. How is he obliged to Sergi for this? How is he obliged to Sergi for this? Yes, Lashkov is earning 35 rubles a month. For this, he was of course obliged to Sergi. because even Sergi thought that he has given him a letter of recommendation, and just because of that letter of recommendation, he was earning 35 rubles a month. According to Lashkov, he was also indebted. He was saying, "Na, I'm indebted to you, sir, for what you have done, for your kind words and the kind deeds you have shown to me." Okay, because had Sergi not taken him out of the streets, had he not employed him to chop the wood, he would still have been calling himself a beggar in the streets. Okay, and he would have been making these kind of excuses that I'm a school teacher who has got or who has been fallen a prey to the intriguing plan of his fellow mates, or he would have been calling himself as a student expelled from the college, and it was only Sergi who has provided him a reputed job. Okay, so next, during their conversation, Lashkov reveals that Sergi's cook Olga is responsible for positive change in him. How has Olga saved Lashkov? So as I have already told you, that it was Olga who has brought down a change in him. It was only the transformation that has been brought by Olga that ultimately changed this beggar to actual Lashkov, who is earning 35 rubles a month. Okay, and what reason he has given? He said what reason he has given? He said Lashkov was himself telling that the scolding given by him, the tears she has shed for him, actually changed him. And he was also saying that why at the sight of Olga he stopped drinking. He said, even I'm not able to explain this, but actually this is Olga, the kind deeds she has shown. Okay, and owing to her words, that has really brought a transformation in his heart, that really changed his heart and set him on the right path. And it was just because of Olga that he has been a transformed man today. Okay, so with these we complete the textual questions. In the next lecture we will discuss extra questions, right?